The time is now 6:53 on this Monday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go. A mass casualty event was narrowly avoided in the town of Parkland. According to the Parkland Volunteer Fire Department, a car T-boned a bus on Friday on Highway 13 near City Road U, leaving, as you can see, the car's front end destroyed. The Parkland Fire Department says there were 7 people involved between those in the bus and the car, but many are walking away with only minor injuries this morning. We are waiting to hear back if drugs, alcohol, or speed were a factor in that crash. A motorcycle deer collision claims the life of a northwest Wisconsin man. It happened in the town of Cloverland on County Highway O. According to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, a driver came upon the crash scene Thursday morning, finding a man lying in the road, a deer on the shoulder, and a motorcycle in the ditch. 37-year-old Jason Miller of Buell was airlifted to a hospital where he later died of his injuries. It's unclear when exactly that crash happened. A decision Friday ended a lengthy regulatory, legal, and public battle over the future of energy production and use across northeast Minnesota. State regulators approving a private equity firm's purchase of ALLETE, which owns Minnesota Power. BlackRock's global infrastructure partner and the Canadian Pension Plan will invest. Board will now take the Northern Minnesota electric provider private. It's something they argue is necessary to help Minnesota Power achieve its long-term clean energy goals. Regulators approved the deal, now in part because of conditions agreed to by the utility and the proposed buyers, which includes a 1-year rate freeze. Now, it was all tail wags as far as the eye could see over at Spirit Mountain to fundraise for an iconic Northland dog sled race. A crowd of runners gathered for a 5K with their furry family members to kick off the start of the John Bear Grace Sled Dog Marathon season. They're almost part of Bear Grace's first fundraiser of the season. As a nonprofit organization, the money raised during these fundraisers will go towards vital parts of the sled dog race in January. Bear Grace is also looking for volunteers for the Sled Dog Marathon. You can head to our website to get more information.